Hi everyone, welcome to a Stamping to Share video. My name is Kate Kalthoff, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Googly Ghouls Halloween set that Stampin' Up! Sells. I have found this to be one of the most versatile Halloween sets that Stampin' Up! Has ever sold, at least for me. And I think the main reason is because you can buy a coordinating package of googly eyes to go with it. And I cannot tell you how much fun I've had putting these little self-adhesive eyes onto my little creatures. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. So I'm going to show you how that's all done today with a card that I've made. I actually used this card in the last couple of swaps that I've been in, and I've had a few people ask me, how do I adhere this vellum without the adhesive showing? So I'm going to share that tip with you too. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I do see that I am missing my white scrap paper. So I'm going to go grab one out of my scraps. Is this how you keep your scraps? I just have it's just a page protector. It's one of the heavy duty ones. I've probably had it for about 6 or 7 years. And I just write Whisper White at the top, and then inside are all my little scraps. And so here's a scrap, and we're just going to take our StazOn black ink. We're going to take our spider. And when you stamp your spider, you'll notice that there's a skinny end to this stamp. You want to make sure that you don't put very much pressure onto the skinny end, because when you do that, you could smoosh up your image. And so I'm just going to press on the main part of the stamp, and then the skinny end gets a nice impression without it being over impressed, where it looks a little smushed. So then we're going to take our Stampin' Up! Selling the most wonderful new little tool. It's a 1 1/4 inch scallop circle punch. So we're just going to punch out this little guy and get him all lined up in there, nice and cute. And then we're going to punch. Out he goes. He's ready for our card. And of course we need to use some vellum on this card. Stampin' Up! Sells a really nice heavy duty vellum. It's our cardstock vellum. And I found that when I ran it through the embossing machine with 2 pieces of vellum at the same time, I had less trouble with the cracking. And so, oh goodness, where's my, here we go. Here's my, no, this isn't it. Oh, here we go, goodness. This is my, you don't want to see my office this morning, it's kind of a mess, but this is my Spiderweb, vellum sheets that are already in the embossing folder. I've run it through the embossing machine to save some time off camera, and here it is. There's 2 sheets together, and it works real nice to just punch through both sheets at the same time. So I'm taking a 1 3/8 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to punch out the center of this web where a little spider's going to sit. And so now we can peel these apart, and we have 2 cards ready to go here. So what I want to show you about this is we have 2 sides to this vellum. One is the embossed side where the it kind of sticks up from the card, and one is the deboss side. And it's actually the deboss side that we want to go to the front of this card. So we're going to take some multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're going to go to the embossed side, and we're just going to put the tiniest little amount of glue onto our card. And hopefully you can see how very, very little that I'm using, because you really don't need to use terribly much. Alright, and what I'm doing is I'm just following out the veins of the spider web kind of from the center out to the edges, so that our card will be stuck pretty much in all the right places to stay on our card. Alright, there we go. That's done. I'm going to hold this up. Can you see how very little that I use? But it's enough to make it stick really good. Then we have our card, and this is just a 4 1/4 by 11 inch sheet of black paper folded in half. And so we're going to take our spider web with the glue. I'm going to tip it upside so that the glue side is down. And then I'm just going to kind of hoover it over my card. And then we're going to put it down, press it on, and look at that. We've just adhered vellum with multi-purpose liquid glue, and there's very little to tell us how we did it. Now you can see there's a little bit of a deeper, darker color here where I have a little extra glue, one here, but over time those actually fade a little bit, so you won't even be able to tell where it was that we glued this card onto, or glued the vellum onto this card. Now the next step is to put our spider into his nest, and so I have some, oh, this isn't a very good example, but I have some dimensionals here, so we're just going to take one off. I always use every little speck of product that I can. I'm going to take off this little dimensional piece, put him right in the middle of our web, and it's kind of cute. I don't know if you can see this, but there's kind of a little spiderweb hanger, and that just works right into his little thread right there. Oops, I have it off center, wouldn't you know. I never do this when I'm not in front of the camera. I'm perfect when I'm not in front of the camera. The next step is to take our googly eyes, and I think I showed you that before. Here it all is packaged up. Here it all is mostly used. So I'm going to use the mostly used piece. And we just take it off with a paper piercing tool, put it right there where his eye is. Add another one. And oh my gosh, this is just so much fun. These are just a ball to play with. And there he is. And then here's the inside of the card. Boo! Have a happy Halloween, and thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. Bye-bye.